Going live. And we are live on TikTok and on YouTube here talking about actor James Vanderbeek died today at age 48. Terrible, terrible tragedy. And I'll be honest with you, I was not a huge super fan of him, or I don't think I've ever seen an episode of Dawson's Creek. And that's not for better or for worse. It's not because it wasn't a good show, or not trying to, not because I'm embarrassed and I secretly loved it. But I felt that I became a fan of him recently because of his cancer thing. And I'll explain that in a minute. But let's talk about what happened with James here. So I've got the screen up here. Hopefully, you guys can see this. Unless you're on TikTok, sorry, I can't share my screen on TikTok, but I will read the article from TMZ. It says James Vanderbeek has died. TMZ has learned. A rep for the Travis County Medical Examiner's Office in Texas says it was reported to them at 6:44 a.m. No cause of death was given, but I think it sounds like it was his battle with cancer. He had stage 3 colorectal cancer. On his, it looks like this was his social media, Instagram maybe. It says, "Our beloved James David Vanderbeek passed peacefully this morning. He met his final days with courage, faith, and grace. There is much to share regarding his wishes, love for humanity, and the sacredness of time. Those days will come. For now, we ask for peaceful privacy as we grieve our loving husband, father, son, brother, and friend." James' wife, Kimberly Vanderbeek, posted about this shortly after we broke the news, writing in a shared Instagram post, her husband. Okay, so I just read that for you. The actor revealed he was battling stage 3 colorectal cancer in late 2024, telling people he felt optimistic despite the difficult diagnosis. Vanderbeek tried to do some good to help others who were facing similar battles just weeks after revealing his diagnosis, starring in a 2-hour special of The Real Full Monty in December 2024 to raise awareness for prostate, testicular, and colorectal cancer testing and research. Vanderbeek got emotional while discussing his cancer battle on Good Morning America last year, especially when he mentioned everything his wife had done for him since he'd been diagnosed. He was supposed to join fellow Dawson's Creek's castmates in September, but he was forced to drop out of the reunion for health reasons. He ended up making a surprise virtual appearance and introducing Lin-Manuel Miranda, who read lines in his place. Vanderbeek didn't sulk in his last few months of life either. He even said cancer was the best thing that had ever happened to him in December 2025 because it encouraged him to live a healthy, more religious life. James rose to prominence in the late 1990s as the titular character in Dawson's, though he would later gain recognition in his roles in Scary Movie, Varsity Blues, and Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23. He also grabbed recurring roles on many of the most popular shows of the last 2 decades, like How I Met Your Mother, One Tree Hill, and Pose. We last caught up with Vanderbeek outside the famous Egyptian Theater in Park City, Utah at Sundance 2020, where we talked about snowboarding and charity work with the veteran actor. James is survived by Kimberly and their 6 children, daughters Olivia, Annabelle, Amelia, Gwendolyn, and sons Joshua and Jeremiah. He was 48. Rest in peace. Wow. So I just couldn't believe it. When I saw that news today, I opened up my phone and I saw that, I was like, my heart just dropped. I was like, I just couldn't believe it because I knew that he had colorectal cancer, but I thought he had beat it. I thought he was, going through the treatment and everything, and he was beating it. So this was a total shocker to me because I thought was on the right path. I mean, it's got to be tough when you're at stage 3. I mean, it's tougher, but I thought everything that I had heard was positive and that he was doing well. So this comes as a shock. You didn't see any articles like, oh, he's taking a turn for the worse or the cancers, come back or anything. So they kept it very under wraps. But maybe he's been struggling maybe he's been fighting it this whole time. I don't know. I mean, I guess I didn't follow that part super closely, but the reason that this hits so close to home for me personally is because actually it was about a year ago. I was talking to one of my buddies and he was saying something about getting a colonoscopy. And I was like, oh, why are you doing that? You don't have to do that till you're 50. He goes, no, they changed it. The rule is you're supposed to get a colonoscopy at age 45 now. And I was like, oh shit. And I was 46 at the time, turning 47. I'm 47 now. So I was like, uh-oh, Like, I'm like a year or 2 late to the party. I was like, "Oh, crap." Like, what if I have something? What if, and then you hear these stories like the guy who played, Black Panther, I wanna make sure I get this right because I always forget this guy's name. I feel it's like Chadwick Boseman, is that his name? Yeah, Chadwick Boseman, okay. He died of colorectal cancer, and I think how old was he? He was like 27 or something like that? 28. Sorry, no, wait, he was 43. Sorry. No, he was 43. Okay, so he wasn't, but didn't he get the cancer when he was like really young? Like he'd had it for a while or something? Either way, 43 is, I mean, they're saying the recommendation is to get checked out when you're 45. So, he was diagnosed in 2016. So how old would he have been? And it progressed to stage 4 before 2020. So I died at 43. So if he was diagnosed in 2016, so he was 37. So that they say the recommendation is to get a screening when you're 45. He got it when he was 37. That's 8 years before you're supposed to even get a screening. And it's crazy when I got my colonoscopy, the nurse said they're seeing it in younger and younger people, that there was a child that had colorectal cancer that was like 7 years old or 5 years old, something crazy like that, where I was just like, "What?" I mean, you don't think a child under the age of 10 needs a colorectal screening. So, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical I don't wanna get in conspiracies and all that shit, because people get really hyped up about that and get really angry when you start talking about why this is happening, and I don't know, I don't pretend to know, but I do know this is the one thing I do know. And this is the thing that, like, I've just been having this epiphany lately for myself. And so if you're still watching and you're still with me, just hang on here because this does have a purpose. I'm not just trying to get clicks about James Van Der Beek's death, although I'm sure some people will be interested in that. But I mean, I don't have any extra details that you can't find on TMZ. So if that's all you're here for, you can probably just get off and go online and find all the gossip about it or whatever. I'm trying to find more like the reason behind it and the meaning behind it. But so I've had this like kind of epiphany lately, like when you're in that like doctor's office or like you're getting ready, you're getting prepped for your colonoscopy. And because I did the colonoscopy last year, and thankfully everything was good. I was clean, it was fine. There was no polyps or whatever they are looking for. Everything was good. So, um, but and if you do have polyps, by the way, if they when they do a colonoscopy, they look for these polyps, and if you have the polyps, they can just boop, they just clip them right there, and then you know they clip it before it becomes cancerous, and before the cancer, they can clip it. The polyps are precancerous, I think. I don't know the again. I'm not a doctor. I don't know the medical stuff. I just know that if you get the colonoscopy, if they find the polyps, they can clip them, and that prevents the cancer. So it's very important to do this colonoscopy at age 40 if you're 45 and you're supposed to do it once every 10 years. Maybe earlier if you have a history or you're at risk or you're having issues or anything like that. It's not fun. Okay? I will be honest with you right there. It sucks. You got to drink this shitty drink and you're literally shitting your guts out for 24 hours. But then you do it and it's over quick. You don't feel anything because you're under, and you come out and then hopefully you have a clean bill of health, and that's a great feeling. But yeah, back to I've had this kind of epiphany lately. When you're in that doctor's office and you're about to get the examination, the test, and it doesn't have to be even a colonoscopy. It could be literally anything, your blood work. You're having symptoms of something and you need to get it checked out. That anxiety that you feel in the doctor's office, I don't wish that on anyone. I really don't. Even if you hate me, you think I'm a conspiracy theorist, or you think I'm a bad person, or what, like I still don't wish that on you. I don't care if we disagree about something about music or um, if you were my friend or if you know me personally and we had a falling out, I don't wish that on you. I don't wish that on any human being to have that kind of anxiety in the doctor's office. It is not fun. So for me, I think part of it is like, okay, I really got to take like amazing care of myself, and I got to take care of my health. It's very important. But also like again, I don't wish that on anyone else. So what can I do to prevent that? Because I don't want anyone to have to feel that. I mean, yes, it's unrealistic to say 100% of people will never have anxiety in a doctor's office or get a bad result in the doctor's office. But if I can get a few people, one or two people to change the path they're on with their physical and mental health and become healthier and get to that doctor's office and feel confident if you're having a test or a symptom and you feel confident because you're eating healthy every day, you're working out, you're taking good care of yourself, you have good social relationships, you're happy in your career and your work and all that stuff. And you prevent a disease or you feel, at least you feel like you've done everything that you can in your power. Again, we can't get into the conspiracies to why all these cancers are happening and all this stuff. That you can only control the things that you can control. So you're eating healthy, you're doing all the right things. Like that would be amazing. Seriously, if I can help one person, one or two people, three people, I mean, I'd love to help hundreds or thousands or millions, but even if I could just help a few people, that would feel like, okay, wow, like this was worth it. So that's really going to be the focus of my channel, I think, is just mental health and physical health as well, and just trying to be happy and lead a clean lifestyle as much as possible. I understand there's going to be cheat days. There's going to be times where you're not going to be perfect, right? But if people could start leading a healthier lifestyle, and I say that for myself too, because I need to do it. I'm not perfect. I definitely am not perfect. So don't call me a hypocrite and say, well, you ate a cinnamon roll and this, and you had a glass of wine. And yeah, well, I'm not perfect. So, but I'm saying if you could be healthier, because you can go two paths, right? Like you can go down the healthy route and be healthier and healthier and healthier every day, or you can go down the junk food, booze, watching TV, doom scrolling, not exercising. You can go down that path and that path can get worse and worse and worse. You're drinking more, you're eating more junk food, you're exercising less and less and less, you're more and more and more stressed, your sleep suffers, all those things. So, yeah, I mean, I don't want to like preach or whatever, but if I can inspire or help people get on the right path, I feel like that would be worth my time and hopefully worth yours. Cause I mean, this is just horrible that James Vanderbeek dies at age 48. And there's the guy from the singer from Three Doors Down, another young guy. I mean, I consider that young. I'm 47. I consider this age for, mid to late 40s. I don't consider that an old man. I think old man is like 70s and 80s. My parents are old. They're in their 80s, but they are, they're in good health. And I'm glad that they have made it this far. And I think that's amazing. But I don't think people in their 40s should be dying of these kinds of things. And so what can we do? The only thing we can do is control ourselves, what we eat, how much we exercise, the content we're consuming, all that shit. So I'm going to start trying to create content that helps people, that makes the world better. There's enough gossip, drama, politics, bullshit, entertainment, just flat out entertainment stuff. And I've created a lot of that content, and the entertainment stuff, the gossip, that stuff, it gets clicks. I understand that. So I understand my numbers are probably going to suffer, but I just have this thing inside of me that's like, I got to do something about this. This is like an epidemic, a health epidemic that, and people are suffering, and I don't like to see it. Now these James Vanderbeek, I mean, his family, 6 kids, was it, I think, and his wife, they got to grow up without a husband and a father. And I mean, that's just heartbreaking. Again, I'm not even a big James Vanderbeek fan. I never watched, maybe I should watch Dawson's Creek. It seemed like an interesting show, because I know it's about him. His character wants to be like a movie director, and he loves Steven Spielberg. And so it sounds kind of interesting. Yeah, he will be missed. Absolutely. But yeah, it's just that for some reason, James, his battle with cancer really, because I was really worried about getting colon cancer. So for some reason I started, maybe it was a dumb thing to do, because I started, like, who are the people that have gotten colon cancer that are my age? Like, oh, James Vanderbeek. Geez. Was he in the Mighty Ducks? I don't even know that. But anyways, yeah. So I started watching like interviews with him about the cancer, and it was really inspiring. I was like, oh, okay. Like it helped me get through that colonoscopy. So I was like, okay, well, obviously I hope I don't have cancer or anything like that. But if I do, James Vanderbeek is my spirit animal. Like he got it, And this guy, like, it's not like he didn't look like he was had led a unhealthy lifestyle. I don't know, maybe he smoked, maybe he ate a lot of salty, barbecue meats or something. I don't know what like caused it. Maybe it was just a genetic thing. Maybe it was something as well. I don't know. That's the conspiracy thing. I can't get into that because people get really angry. But yeah, just he was my spirit animal. I watched interviews with him, and he was so positive. He was like joking around how like his kids would call it butt cancer and stuff. And I just thought, oh, that's so like he's just like he has such the right attitude for like I don't know. I look at people like that and I go, God, this person's like so strong. Like, how can they? I feel like if something like this happens to me, like if I get cancer, like I'm just gonna collapse and I'm just gonna die. I'm just gonna give up. Like, I don't know how to fucking fight cancer. Like, are you kidding me? Like, but James Vanderbeek, man, he was like, oh, I'm gonna fight it. Like, I'm gonna go to my treatments, and I'm just like, wow, this guy is like amazing. He's so uh what's the word? Like he was kind of like just mellow and just I don't know if that's just his personality or that was something he when you I feel like sometimes when people get cancer, like they realize the important things that matter in life. And so it's like you're always worried about this bad thing happening. And sometimes the bad thing comes and you're like, oh, well, that wasn't even really as bad as I thought it was gonna be. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if but obviously for him it ended up being horrible. He paid the ultimate price and died, and but he didn't seem scared about it. Like that's what's so weird to me is that he didn't seem freaked out that he was going to die, and even though that was like he seemed like upbeat that he was going to beat it. And I just don't know that I would have that strength. I mean, I think he had the strength mentally as to handle that as best as he possibly could, as possible as anybody could in that situation. I mean, my dad had cancer, and some of my family members have had it, and I don't know. I mean, so many people have I think it was like I don't know the statistics exactly, but I just know that it's like the cancer rates are on the rise. Like I'm pretty sure if you're watching this, like you probably have either had cancer yourself or you know somebody, a family member, a friend, a coworker, or multiple people, probably more than likely. And so I just think we got to do something. And I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to give medical advice about, I mean, other than I think you get a colonoscopy. I don't think that's a crazy thing to say, or get some kind of screening. There's other screenings that are less invasive than a colonoscopy. My buddy did the thing where you poop in the box and you send the box out, and they can look for some signs in there. I think the colonoscopy is the gold standard. But there, I guess there is some risk with the colonoscopy too. So, I mean, everyone's got to make their own health decisions. But the one thing that you can control, even if you're not doing all the colonoscopy stuff, is like you can control your diet, you can control the content that you consume, you control how much you exercise, your relationships, how much you drink, if you do drugs or like how much you do. Hopefully you don't do any crazy hard drugs, but I mean, for some people, they can use marijuana or whatever occasionally, and it's some people use psychedelics as a positive thing. They don't abuse it. So I don't know. Those are all questions that you have to answer for yourself. But if I can inspire people to at least look at their health and take it seriously and make it a priority, because I think that's the problem right now is there's a lot of people that just they don't make their health a priority. They're just like, oh yeah, I mean, I don't know, I don't really like working out. I don't like exercising. I don't like eating healthy. I don't like salads. I don't like chicken breasts. I don't like vegetables and fruit. I like my Cocoa Puffs or my Pop Tarts, and I like just lay on the couch all day, and I don't like to do a lot of exercise, and that scares me for those people because I don't want to see people die too young in their 40s. And I'm not saying James Vanderbeek and the Three Doors Down guy or Chadwick Boseman. I mean, Chadwick Boseman looked ripped. So I don't know what, I mean, some of this stuff, again, maybe you're doing everything right and you still pay the price. I don't know the details, but it would be nice if you're doing everything that you can and that you tried your best to take care of your health. And also just for feeling good in the present. It's not just, you shouldn't just eat healthy and exercise to prevent possibly getting cancer someday. It should be like, oh, this will help you feel better in the short term too, right? You're going to have more energy throughout the day. You're going to sleep better. You're going to feel happier. I mean, that is just such a high priority for me personally. And I don't mean to push my values on other people, but I just don't see how being happy is not a priority for pretty much every human being. Am I right? Like, so, I mean, maybe people have different definitions of how they achieve happiness and what that looks like. But I do think that being healthier, if we as a country or as a world, even if we were all mentally and physically healthier and took better care of ourselves, I think it would make the world a better place. Is that crazy? Like maybe it's like this fucking sign that I have back here that if you follow me, then if you've ever watched my channel, you've seen the sign in the back. I don't know if you've ever read it, but I mean, it's kind of hard to read 'cause it's in the background, but it says, here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs and the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them, but the only thing you can't do is ignore them because they change things. And while some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius because the ones who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones who do. You know who that's from? The quote is from? As I put this back, does anybody know? Nobody's okay. I only have one watching right now. Anybody on TikTok? No. Okay. Steve Jobs. For those who don't know, he created Apple. So if you're watching this on an iPhone, he created the iPhone. I mean, well, his company, I mean, the engineers, I'm sure, did a lot of, but it was like his idea, his vision or whatever. So yeah, so I'm a crazy one for sure. I'm definitely not a genius, but I am a crazy one. So I'm going to try to change the world. So it's going to be slow going, and I'm going to be patient because maybe a lot of people who subscribe to my channel subscribed because of I interviewed Don Dawkin or Mark Normand or Tommy Chong or whatever celebrity or rock star, whatever it was, and they're really into that person. But I ask you this, like, why are you into that person? So why'd you click on this? Why are you into James Van Der Beek? What is it about him that made you interested in him? It's like a lot of times it's because these people do amazing things with their life. They achieve amazing things. But I just want to help other people achieve amazing things in their life, or at the very least, live a happy and healthy life. That doesn't necessarily mean they're always going to win the Super Bowl or get a Grammy or any of those kinds of things. I mean, it could just be like they're the best father, husband, wife, mother, um, worker at their job, whatever that job is. They're healthy, the healthiest that they can be, all those kinds of things. Got some comments here. Hi, Chuck. Thanks for covering this. Yeah, absolutely. Pre-cancer. I had 3 removed. Oh, geez. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, I mean, it's scary. It's scary out there. You got to take care of your health. So I'm definitely trying to be better myself. I was not very good in my 20s. I'll be honest with you. My 30s, I started to go, oh, like, I think I need to start taking care of myself. I'm getting old. Shit. Like this hurts. This sucks. Like eating a bunch of junk food and drinking a bunch of beer. Like I don't feel so good after this. Like this is not fun. And then I feel like slowly progressed. And then in my 40s, it was like I was being a lot healthier, a lot healthier. And now I'm like, I'm definitely not perfect, but I'm on a pretty good path. I go to the gym every day, not every day, 5 days a week or whatever, and try to do like walks and hikes and stuff on the weekends and in the evenings, and trying to eat what I think is healthy. It's always like changing. Like I try to do high protein, low saturated fat, all those kinds of things. Try to do things with my social relationships because that's a big piece of it too. So it's not just what you eat and how much you exercise; it's how you interact with the world. Try to not be on my phone so much. So with that being said, I think I will get off the internet now. And rest in peace to James Van Der Beek and the singer of Three Doors Down as well. He died recently too. And all the people who have died just too young. It's terrible to see. And if there's anything I can do to try to prevent some of that, I'm going to try to do that because I'm, like the sign said, I'm crazy a little bit. I'm crazy enough to think I can. So thank you for watching. And hopefully I gave you something to think about. And yeah, That's all I got to say. Hopefully this was valuable for you, and follow my channel because I'm going to be doing more content that will hopefully help you. Again, you become the rock star in your own life or the movie star or the TV star, whatever of your own life, right? Okay. Maybe you're not going to have millions of fans, but if your kids, if your wife, if your husband or whatever, like if you want to be a rock star for them, then I think that you're doing well. And for yourself, at the very, you want to be the best version of yourself. And that's what I'm going to try to focus on doing with my channel. So thanks for watching this. Have a great rest of your day and shoot for the moon. Do something that, helps somebody else and helps yourself today, and try to make it a good day. Cause you never know when your number is going to get called, like James. I'm sure he didn't know this, today was going to be the day for him. So rest in peace, James. Thanks for watching.